In the digital age that we live in, it goes without saying that technology has surrounded our lives completely, with most of our everyday routine being solely based on our devices. It becomes no wonder when studies show that technology has a greater effect on our lives than in the ways that are most obvious. Within the past decade, it has become a fact that technology has its negatives on our emotional and mental health. But what has changed because of this? It's evident that most people feel that engaging in work for long periods of time is straining on the mind, and maybe more often than not, it's equally as painful to hold your attention to certain tasks even for shorter periods.
Loss of interest, loss of motivation when you're trying to apply yourself to something. The strong feeling of boredom in things you don't want to be doing. You separate from the work and find something else to do. The need to look for entertainment or reward. Or rather than walking away, you might reach for your phone or switch your tab to separate from the task at hand.
In the case that you feel the same way, that you have the urge to reach for your phone or have trouble putting it down, shows that it has a psychological influence. But studies have shown that it goes even deeper than that, enough that our fixation around our devices is associated with the struggles of addiction.
It's many things that drive our attention back to our devices. The reward element of social media attention, being entertained from photos or videos, or whatever. Nevertheless, our fixation is what is digging a hole into our mental and emotional health. The platforms are designed to be addictive and are associated with anxiety, depression, and even physical elements.
To boost self-esteem and feel the sense of belonging in their social circles, people post content with the hope of receiving positive feedback. Couple that content with the structure of potential future reward, and you get a recipe for constantly checking platforms for the short, brittle popularity, and then in some situations hit with disparity when it isn't received.
With all of this being figured out, nevertheless, self-esteem harm and suicide is still statistically at its highest, which is believed to be caused by anxiety and depression induced by the usage of mobile apps.
But why is this happening? Do people not know the negative effects that stem from overuse of social networking and the internet? We went to the public to answer our questions. Conducting our research in the field, the responses we received provided us with more or less conclusive evidence to the promotion and public knowledge of limiting screen time. We first asked the question, are you familiar with the negative effects associated with overuse of screen time?
Yes. No, I haven't.
Yes.
What are some that you recognize that you understand?
Well, in my experience, I've noticed that it can worsen moods and you don't get as much sleep and stuff like that, which can lead to very negative side effects.
What are some that you recognize?
I recognize suicide and like other things like anxiety, depression, other things.
Some of the common effects that we found with overuse of screen time is obesity, sleep disorders, and a swinging of moods like anxiety leading to depression.
Interesting. I've never heard of that
Yeah.
before.
With this newfound knowledge, would you consider limiting your usage of any apps?
Yes, most likely Facebook and all that, but you know, it may be a little difficult.
Why would you think it'd be difficult?
Kind of addicted to it. There's some good things on there. Well, so personally, you know, I have a bunch of friends on there. You know, we talk and all that. I've never seen the world and all that, so it's a good way to connect with the outside world.
Sure, but would you value your mental health and your mood over some of the social media use?
It depends, but usually no.
True. Thank you.
You know, you're welcome.
Have you ever considered limiting your own screen time or social media use?
Yeah, for a while I had limits on all of my social media and all of my apps besides the basic ones like my camera and my phone, and I noticed that it greatly improved my mood.
True. Did you find it difficult?
Yeah, it was a real challenge, but I think it was worth it.
Have you ever considered limiting your own screen time or social media usage?
Personally, no.
No. Knowing that the mental effects that it has, would you consider cutting down?
I mean, for other people, yeah.
Would you think it'd be difficult?
No.
No.
That's it.
There's addictive characteristics to social media as well. You feel that people couldn't manage staying off social media?
I mean, a lot of my friends can't, so yeah, I agree.
Sure.
Thank you.
This was the response that we found to be most consistent through all of our interviews. Either through personal experience or from noticing others struggling, the addiction to cell phones and the difficulty to separate from them is a relatable issue. What people may not realize is that there are tools available to help manage screen time usage, one of them being Custodio. Custodio is an extension software designed to promote healthy habits and the safe usage of social media and the internet by enforcing content filters, time limits, and giving parents or whoever monitoring ability over other devices' activity. Custodio supports the idea of healthy families stemming from healthy habits. The content and app filter blocks inappropriate sites, games, or other apps and gives alerts to operators in order to prevent any potentially harmful activity. From the monitor tool, a real-time dashboard is displayed of the connected device's activity, timeline, browsing history, screen time, and more. Here settings can be changed and time limits can be placed on how much screen time is being done. Custodio can also provide the location of devices, track calls, and SMS for Android and iOS. Custodio is one of the top-rated softwares for iOS and Android for all the tools and support for families and schools, but it does have pricing plans for its services. The company has small, medium, and large plans based on how many devices can be paired. FamilySafe is another downloadable extension software that promotes and offers a lot of the same tools as Custodio, with some services going even more in-depth in digital control. FamilySafe focuses on the idea of creating good habits in the digital presence of children and students with the tools of web filters, activity reports, and location detection. Similar to Custodio, the web filter provides the support of safe search, explicit or inappropriate content management, and screen time limitations, which all can be managed by the overseeing digital supervisor, being parents, teachers, or whomever. The activity report provides the full digital activity of participants, browsing history, screen time, inappropriate content, much of the same as Custodio except for the location management. Along with real-time location monitoring of devices, FamilySafe also provides reports and geo-references, though not having the ability to track calls and messages.
Want me to state them?
Fun fact, I'm used to walking folks down.
Hello, Bozo.